What's up, guys, and welcome back to my garage. If you're enjoying this series, make sure you leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, I kind of started to circle the drain of madness because after literal hours worth of work, our wolf wagon project still isn't moving under its own power. And it wasn't until I started editing that previous episode where I realized we don't even have a shifter to be able to shift the transmission into gear. It's just not there. It's non-existent. So that's my bad. Something I definitely overlooked. But then a lot of you guys mentioned that since we did transition from an automatic transmission to a manual, we now need a different pedal setup. You can see we're kind of missing our clutch pedal, which is very important on a manual. In addition to that, throughout the whole, like, me trying to problem solve and figure out what's actually wrong with the thing, I torched the cylinder head. And that's likely because our radiator is absolutely trashed. So we're gonna go through this thing again today and try to get all the things that are wrong with it removed and replaced and everything finally sorted out. Or at least that's the plan anyways. I don't know. We'll see if I kind of start to descend into madness again. I really hope not, for my sake, but I know a lot of you guys really love to see me struggle. Just love to see me squirm, I guess. It is what it is. So we're gonna come across the street first thing and grab some food, grab some water, and we'll get right to work. Let's start here in the catalog by just purchasing the obvious things that we know we're gonna need for sure. So I'm gonna head into interior, and we're just looking for a shifter. This is the gear stick for an automatic. That's what the A probably signifies at the end there, and this is our manual. Both are the same price. So we'll grab that, and then this is the current pedal setup we have. We need the one for $57.50. Perfect. That's it for right now. I did see there were a few people that thought that the reason this thing wasn't moving was actually because I left it on the hoist, which I guess I technically did. Hang on, is there another? Oh no, that's already tightened. Perfect. I technically did. You know, it was on the hoist. However, the arms were all the way down, and in my previous experience here, the vehicle will still move as long as it's all the way lowered down. So that unfortunately was not the case. However, that would have been pretty easy as well. This is another thing that would have been pretty easy to notice, but I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. With just those two changes alone, this vehicle should theoretically be able to move under its own power now. However, we will still have to readdress our engine. But before we get to that, we do actually have a bad brake hard line, and then I never did go through and add all the additional soft lines that we'll need. So I'm gonna purchase, looks like 4 of those. I know we're missing the 2 in the rear, so 4 soft lines and a new hard line. Okay, maybe I jumped the gun a little bit on the soft lines. The hard line was super easy. It's literally just 1 bolt. But let me see if you guys can spot the problem here. On this side, we don't even have a rotor. It looks like there maybe was one there that could also be the hub as well. This side, we don't even have a caliper on it. I think the rear, if I remember right, should actually be... Nope, still missing a rotor on this side. Okay, let's just adjust the brake system, and then we can get those installed. So I'm going to lower it back down just a little bit. And we'll get all the wheels removed, make sure they have the rotor, the caliper, and then pads and soft lines, of course. I have said before, brakes, who needs them? Turns out we do. Very, very badly. We now have brand spanking new brake rotors on all 4 corners of the vehicle. The only corner of the vehicle that had a caliper on it is this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and loosen the 2 bolts for that guy. Even though I'm sure the pads are in great condition, I'm going to go ahead and just scrap that whole thing. And this is a bit overkill now, but we're going to be installing brand new everything. You can see I also have a brand new brake master cylinder as well, because that one in there, very, very rusty, very gross. And we need good brakes, ultimately. Oh, I did kind of already have a box of brake pads. It's fine. It's fine. You can't ever have too many of those. So let's go ahead and drop out all 4 of the fronts. We'll get those crammed into the caliper, if it will let me. There we go. There's 1. And now same thing for the rear. Just gonna get all 4 of these brake pads installed into the caliper. See, sometimes they work. Sometimes they work first try, other times not so much. All 4 calipers are on now. All 4 soft lines are installed. The next thing we need to do is actually loosen that fitting on the hard line. And then we just need to kind of peek our head through here if we can. And unfasten those 2 bolts right there. Oh, wait. I was going to do this a little bit differently, actually. Hang on. Let's get that temporarily put back on there. And then fasten those bolts again. I'm going to try this for the radiator later also, if it ends up working for us. So, it's technically installed again, if we do that. But I'm going to try to remove this cap now. If I can just pop the cap off, we'll leave it on the ground. It doesn't really matter. And then now we'll go back through and loosen all those fittings and bolts again. It's so difficult to get under here now that we have the dash installed. There we go. So my hope here is that if we take this out and leave it, you know, sitting straight up, maybe we could like wedge it in between the wall and the transmission. There we go. Now, if we take this guy, the brand new one, and get it installed, we can loosen the cap on the new one, toss that on the floor as well. Now we can grab this, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to drain the fluid in the old one into the new one. Okay, hang on. It was working, but the frame rate is not happy. Not super happy. Oh, this is perfect, dude. This is perfect. And theoretically, it should fill us to, like, the proper amount. You know what I'm trying to say? So we'll get the cap put back on there. Perfect. Perfect, dude. Frame rate still a little low. You know, I might even have to just move the El Camino. Oh, because this is still leaking. Let's just sell that then. $6. Yeah, frame rate's still kind of poor. But we might have to just move the El Camino into storage. I think having a lot of vehicles sort of loaded in at once isn't really great for this one. So, next thing on the list of things to do is we need to get the vehicle raised back up again. I couldn't help but notice while we were working in the rear end, we're kind of missing quite a few suspension pieces still. You can see these 2 arms right here at the bottom. Those are just completely non-existent over here on this side, and I'm sure there's probably a few other things. Yeah, there's a larger arm that connects to a smaller arm. Oh no, that's the knuckle. Never mind, disregard. But we will still need those 2 arms, and I believe it's the same. I want to say it's the same. Hopefully that's correct. We're gonna find out. Okay, there's one installed. I'll get the bolts and nuts and stuff tightened here in just a moment. And the other, just compare the 2 sides now. Yeah, that looks more like it. Hang on, is there another? Dude, there's another. How many control arms do we have in the rear? 1, 2, 3. There's supposed to be 4. There are supposed to be 4 rear control arms. So I'm going to buy these 2 again, and hopefully it's just all the same. Okay, and then the parking brake cable. I'm not sure how to actually detach that. I'm guessing it's that bolt there, and there's probably one more on this side. Maybe something in the engine bay? Okay, I guess not. Perfect. Well, this thing's absolutely mangled, so we're going to go ahead and scrap that for 2 buckaroonies. We'll grab a brand spanking new one from the catalog, and then I think we'll finally be ready to move into the engine bay. The last time that we took this engine apart, I did end up replacing all of the injectors with like the high performance version, but I will be removing them obviously in the hopes that we can reuse them on our new cylinder head. And then as for the glow plugs, if I remember right, I replaced 3 out of the 6 initially. Maybe it was 2 out of the 6. I honestly don't really remember. But we're going to get those changed out as well, because they're probably pretty bad. But the only good way that I've found to remove stuff like this or spark plugs from the cylinder heads is to just grab it and sort of clip it through the table. Clip it through the countertop, and most of them will pop out on the first try, but then you can just kind of do it again and again and again until you get them all out. If any of you have found an easier method, let me know down in the comments. But for right now, that's just kind of what I've been doing. Looks like all 6 of our new high-performance injectors are still ready to rock, and only 5 out of the 6 glow plugs are good. So this guy going in the trash. We'll get a brand new one of those and a brand new cylinder head. All right, cylinder head all together and ready to be installed. Back into the engine bay. I see. Good. Okay, so the general consensus as to why the cylinder head became bad and overheated was because the radiator wasn't flowing very well, which in turn didn't really let enough coolant into the block to cool it down, and also into the cylinder head. And it looks like we actually have 2 bad pistons again. If I remember right, I'm pretty sure initially it had 2 bad pistons. So rather than, you know, taking the whole engine out and putting it on the engine stand over there, I'm instead just going to do this from down under. One new head gasket and 2 new pistons later, we're finally ready to reinstall our cylinder head. We'll get the valve cover put back on. Hopefully it won't need topped up with oil, but it might. You never know. Wow, I actually almost jumped in the driver's seat and tried to turn the thing over without even replacing our known bad radiator. So once again, I'm going to try to do this the same way that we did the master cylinder over there. So with the original one, the bad one, still bolted up, I'm going to just carefully remove the cap. We'll grab our wrench here, unfasten just 2 bolts. With the new one mounted up, we can remove its cap, grab the old one, and then very, very carefully, I'm going to try to drain the coolant that's in this one into that one. It's not going to work at all, is it? I can see the fluid level kind of clipping through the black portion on the left of the radiator, and it's not moving. So maybe we just can't do it with the radiator. That's fine. We'll sell that off for $4. We've got plenty of coolant here. But before we go any further, I should probably reattach our hoses, right? So we don't fill it up and it just immediately exits the new radiator. Sure would be a lot more convenient if we could just pee in this thing. We're nearly there, you guys. We are nearly there. We just need to toss on the cap. I'm going to hit a quick save just in case, you know, something very, very bad happens. It might. And then I'm also just going to quickly remove the lift arms from underneath the vehicle. In case, you never know, it actually does move today. That way we're not hung up on that thing. So, first, I'm going to hop in, right? We're gonna uncheck the e-brake. Then, something I wasn't doing that I definitely should have is letting the glow plugs actually warm up. That's that little symbol right there. Wait, they're good? Let me try that again. Make sure they're actually, okay, they are actually warm. Supposedly, allegedly. We're gonna try it. Almost an immediate startup. I don't hear any bad noises or anything. Before, it did kind of seem like we maybe had a misfire, likely from that faulty glow plug, but you could kind of hear it. Every so often, there would be this slight ticking sound. But I'm not hearing that today. Which is, well, maybe just then. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. We're just gonna pretend like we didn't hear anything, and we'll hop in here to find out the vehicle actually moves now. What a relief, dude. Okay, watch it blow up on our first maiden voyage, though. Would not surprise me. Seems like it's kind of pulling to the right, which is probably because of that faulty tie rod. And then the steering's, like, the steering wheel is straight, but the steering's kind of all over the place. And that's probably because our bad steering rack that we have. Yeah, and under hard acceleration, it pulls immediately to the right as well. So it's super, super sketchy driving this thing around. But we're going to pull it back in and just make sure that nothing is damaged in the engine bay. Also, wouldn't it be hilarious if this vehicle was filled with gasoline the whole time and we didn't know? I'm just having another quick look through the engine bay, see if we can find anything at all that's damaged. Seems like we're good. I mean, everything except for that steering rack, as I mentioned. So let's maybe buy a new one of those, a new tie rod for this side, and then we can start the next phase for this build, dude. I'm pretty excited. All right, phase 2 of this build, or maybe it's phase 3. Honestly, I'm not quite sure. But phase 2 is going to consist of just removing a lot of the existing, or what's left of the original body panels. So no fenders, no hood, no doors, no rear door. I did see a couple of you, because I had mentioned that, doing that in the previous episode, and a couple of you were like, Toogii, dog, don't be doing that. Then you can't put anything inside of it. I have a solution. I have a solution to that, and we'll talk more about that a little while later on. But for right now, I'm just going to completely strip this thing down till it's just a rolling chassis. I guess it couldn't be just a rolling chassis because it has an engine. Anyways, it's going to get naked, all right? It's about to get naked. It's almost ready, you guys. The last thing that we need to pull off is this one window. Okay, it looks like I accidentally removed our carpet as well. That I do want to stay in there. It looks nice, you know? No other reason other than it looks nice. Okay, perfect. So, we now have a completely stripped down Wolf wagon, and this is going to be our junkyard go-to vehicle. But obviously, we're not going to be able to put any parts in this thing. They're just going to fly out immediately. So my solution for that is actually next door. It's still not driving super great, so I might also have to like get some new tires or something, but still a little squirrely under power. Could also be the rear wheels because they're a lot larger than the other ones. But anyways, what we came here for is one of these trailers, but I've never purchased these before, so I have absolutely no idea how they work, but I'm assuming this one would just remain sort of a flatbed trailer, so I do want that, but for our parts runs and things, I want an additional trailer. I just don't know if I want to go with the smaller one, the short one, or the long one, because then we can add these sort of like containers on top of them, and that will contain all the parts that we pick up. Let's start with this short one. We'll start with the smaller one for 1,800 bones, and then if we... Oh, good. I didn't realize the spawn location was right there. But if we ever need to upgrade, get a larger trailer, we can obviously do that with this other one. So next, let's buy the topper. There it is. No move tool necessary. Should just be able to pop it on like so. Perfect. Okay. Next then, we don't currently have a tow hitch. So I'm actually just gonna go inside the store here and see if Dude Bro can help us out. Hopefully he doesn't have another Oblivion
Hey, I got a joke for you.
NPC thing. Oh, here it is.
My girlfriend asked me to be a bit more in touch with my feminine side.
Yeah.
So I crashed the car, and then I ignored her all day for no reason.
Amazing. Amazing. Love this guy. Love this guy. Okay. I just need a quick thing from you. Hopefully you actually have them. The trailer hook. I don't currently have a wrench though, so we might have to just bring the vehicle back to the garage to get it installed, then come back, grab the trailer. Yeah. Looks like we're gonna need a wrench. This really is quite the machine though, you guys. I am very, very happy with it so far. Hopefully it decides to stick around and doesn't end up blowing up on us. Fingers crossed, man, fingers crossed. Just gonna try to back up to the trailer. Nice and slow. Hopefully that's close enough. We'll rip the e-brake. Probably need to hop out and like manually attach the thing. Somehow. Okay, the trailer has its own handbrake. I guess that's good to know. That is not what we want to be doing there, nor is that. How am I supposed to pick this thing up? Oh, there it is. And we've done it. Look at that, dude. What a machine. What a machine. Can we not open this? Oh, there are probably bolts. Yes, absolutely. It looks like there's a bolt in every corner and then maybe one just behind. Oh, that's for the floor. Totally different. Yeah, just 4 more bolts right there. And we'll have it nice and secured. Maybe then we'll be able to open up that door. So let's get this whole rig brought back to the garage and we'll inspect it a little bit more. This thing's gonna be so dang useful for our next, junkyard projects. I'm just not sure that I want these panels on it now that we sort of have that topper. So I'm gonna try to remove these if it will let me. There we go. And we'll stash them somewhere. There's no reason for us to get rid of these things. But it looks like our door here just opens and closes that easy. When it's up at the top, you just click it at the top. If it's at the bottom, I think you can just click it anywhere and it'll open up for us. Perfect. Okay, I actually think I want to get all of these body panels, these old body panels, loaded up into here, and then tomorrow we can take all this stuff down to Scapegoat down there and get a little bit of money. Now, just to make sure that we definitely don't have any gasoline in our diesel tank, I'm gonna go ahead and get this lined up. Oh, the diesel's blue. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. We're just gonna fill the whole tank up. Turns out this whole time we've actually just been filling the tank with Windex. I don't think that would run very well. What's the damage? 64 bones? Not bad. Not too shabby. Get our fuel cap placed back on there, and we are ready to go in the morning. We do still have to sleep. I couldn't help but notice when we were at the gas station, we actually have a little bit more weight reduction that could be done. So I'm just gonna pop that off. We'll try to leave it in the trailer. Hopefully it ends up staying in there. But you know what else we should do is wash that thing. Finally give old girl a bath. She's been real dusty for far too long. And then we'll actually be able to see like its true colors. You know what I'm saying? There we go. There we go, dude. Now it's looking nice. No windows, no glass, no doors, no nothing, dude. Totally bare bones. So we'll hop back in, make sure we, again, wait for the glow plugs to actually warm up before turning her over. And we can make our way down to see old Scapegoat, see how much money he'll give us for some of this stuff, if any. He might just refuse to work with us. What's going on, my man? How's it hanging? Speechless. He's actually speechless, dude. We pull up in the wolf wagon, and my man don't even know what to say. Getting rid of all of this has brought us back up to 14,710 buckaroonies. I gotta make sure that I remember to close that thing every single time, because when we were at the gas station, I definitely forgot and sort of lost just one window, but not that big of a deal, right? So, dudes and dudettes, ladies and gents, I do think that's probably where we're gonna wind things down at for today. But once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.